Let me say something that I truly believe a lot of you need to and want to hear. You don't need to do more. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to post more. What you need is to just take what you're posting, and hopefully you're posting something, and improve the quality of the content. What you actually need is a way to stay visible that you can sustain not for weeks or a couple months, but for years. Remember our interview recently with Jeremy Kane? Consistent action for years. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. We talked earlier this week about how consistency builds more trust than talent ever would. Wednesday on the podcast, we talked about free tools you can be using and should be using. And today I want to talk to you about how to stay visible. And I'm going to give you guys some prompts to do so. So stay around for the entire video. Most realtors don't quit social media because it doesn't work. We keep saying this. They quit because they are exhausted. They try to post every day or a video, or they fall behind because of that. And it's like they stop before they even started. Okay. The problem isn't discipline. Again, it's systems. So if staying visible feels heavy for you or complicated or stressful, first I want you to know that I'm sorry that you feel that way, and there is an easier solution, okay? And it really is just documenting what you're doing, documenting your life as a realtor. You are so busy trying to, oh my goodness, what content do I need to create that's perfect? You just need to document what you're doing. I hate to oversimplify it. I tell you guys, I'm a simple guy. Like, and I joke that like my brain is small. I do the simple things. I know this is going to sound crazy. The questions your clients are already asking you, just answer those questions on social media. Guys, it's not that hard. If you do that, you will just share the questions you're already getting. A video, right? Think about a video that says, I recently was asked this about real estate. I recently was asked, do you need 20% down? I recently was asked, do I need a buyer's agent or listing agent, right? Those kinds of things that your clients are already asking are simple things you can do on social media, okay? It is not about doing more. Just answer the questions that you're already being asked. It's pretty simple, guys. And when you do this and you just answer the questions every day that people are already asking you, it becomes pretty simple. So instead of more theory, okay, I want to give you real prompts you can actually use that you have not been using. Most of you have not been using, okay? Not trends, not dances, not perfect videos, okay? Real topics that realtors already answer and experience every day that you can be answering. You ready? Okay. These are prompts that you can be using today on social media. Things like, here's what I'm seeing right now in the local market. Maybe a prompt like, one thing buyers are confused about in today's market is this. Okay. Another prompt, here's the biggest mistake buyers or sellers are making right now. Another prompt, if you're waiting to buy or sell, here's what I want you to think about. Okay. And then you talk about why it's good, bad, indifferent, and it's probably area dependent. Okay. Another one, this is a question I get asked all the time about the market, and here's the honest answer. Well, guys, I know we're making it overly simple. What is a question that you get asked all the time about the market? And what's the honest answer? It's pretty simple. Other prompts like things about your journey into real estate that you've probably never answered on social media, a video or post or photo or whatever. Here's why I decided to become a realtor. Another video or again, photo, post, whatever. This is the part of real estate I love the most. Then tell us what it is. Here's another one. A moment with a client recently that reminded you why your job matters. I'll pause there for a second. So, there's about 8 of them. I recently helped someone sell their home. So I was not the buyer's agent, but I was the listing agent. And my client sold their home to someone, and the mom and the person who bought it was homeless. She was living in a hotel. Imagine the story you can tell on social media when you get to be a part of someone that was homeless, just trying to survive a few weeks in a hotel to get to closing, and you get to be a part of that journey. How cool is that? Okay. You know, another prompt, something I didn't expect when I got into real estate. Okay. And then, so some of these, like the last four or five, was like, why I became a realtor, why, what I value in real estate, etc. Okay. What about a day in the life? Okay. A video or whatever. Here's what a day in the life of a realtor looks like. Another one thing most people don't see behind the scenes in real estate. You know, on this one, I want to pause because so many people think that all you are as a realtor is a paper pusher and an overpaid door opener. Why? Because your content is not good enough and it's not telling them the work actually that is required to go into being a realtor. Whose fault is that? Yours, mine, because we are not telling people what real estate is actually like. That's why they think we are like used car salesmen. That's why. It's simple because we're not telling them the work that goes into it. Okay, a couple more. Okay, trust building prompts. One thing I care deeply about when working with clients is X. Something I wish more people understood about realtors or real estate is X. Here's how I try to show up differently for my clients is XYZ, right? Do you see how I just gave you whatever 14, 15 prompts that are really simple? If you go through these, none of you watching this were like, "Oh my goodness, that's so hard." Or if it was, you probably have problems and maybe shouldn't be in real estate. These are easy things to answer. Something happening in your local market, one thing people don't understand, a question you get all the time, what you love about real estate the most, why you became a realtor, a day in the life. This is what it looks like today, right? Behind the scenes, things I care about, right? Things I value. What is it doing? It's all sharing about your journey, and it becomes what? Relationship based and relationship building stuff. So here's the key, you don't need all this stuff, right? Wednesday, we talked about free tools to help you produce more content, notes, voice memos, Facebook groups, etc. And your phone, guys. That's it. Your phone. It is not that hard. You are overthinking it. You don't need all this new stuff, all this equipment. You need to use what you already have. You need to talk about real things you already experienced and your real life. And that's how you stay visible without burning out, right? We talked on Monday about how consistency builds more trust and talent. Wednesday, the free tools that every realtor should be using on social media and with social media. And then this video tying it all together, actual things you can be doing that you need to be doing and prompts to make it happen. Simple, sustainable, you being your real self and building relationship through that on your social media platform. So if this helped you, please hit like, subscribe, put a comment in there, maybe your favorite prompt that you're going to use, and share this with another realtor who feels burned out as well. Thanks for watching. Love you guys so much, and we will see you guys on our next video.